Thank you for the invitation to be here. It's my honor. See some friendly faces. It's good to see y'all. And I tell you what, it's a exciting time in this country. It's an exciting time in Harris County, and I am just so honored to be a part of it. And I want to thank you for your interest as well for your community, because we all have, as they say in Spanish, un granito de arena para contribuir. We all have a little grain of sand to add, to contribute. And so we should always look and conduct our business and look at our life in our community and our business environment as an opportunity to contribute. I wouldn't have known that when I was growing up, because I grew up in a Spanish-speaking environment. Spanish was my first language. And regretfully, HISD didn't appreciate that. And so when I was going to school, if you let a Spanish word slip, you got punished. You got punished. But it's great that today we pay people who are bilingual. So we've made some significant changes in our attitudes about the ability to work in one environment, but in two worlds. And so and that indicates the progress that's being made. I'm the only American born in my family, probably like many of you here. My father was a bracero. He was a guest worker. And there's a lot of discussion about guest workers today. But my dad was a guest worker. And back in the 40s, when he wanted to marry a good-looking young lady named my mom, my grandpa, in his infinite wisdom, said, I need to know that you can provide for her, so I need to see $1,000 American dollars. And so he came to the U.S., worked on the rail lines, and as a result was able to petition re-entry into the U.S. Because of his successful completion as a guest worker. And I tell you that the part of the whole story, it's a real interesting story overall, but the part that I have always respected the most about my dad, I lost him in my first election when I joined city council, but the thing that I really appreciated the most about him was that when we crossed the border, obviously I wasn't born yet, but when we crossed the border, my big brothers do remember how he immediately pulled over the station wagon and had everybody get out. And my brothers are freaking out, and they're like, "What, Dad? What are you doing?" So it's already kind of nighttime, and he's like, "No, everybody out, everybody out." He gets everybody out, and he makes everybody kneel. He says, "Everybody, we're gonna say a prayer." And when I asked my big brother, what did he say in that prayer? And he goes, I don't know, but it sounded a lot like the national anthem. Because he said something along the lines of, thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to come to this great country. We know this is a country of opportunity. We're going to be good citizens. We're going to work hard. We're going to give everything back to this country that it gives us. And so we are going to be good citizens. We're going to work hard every day. And that is how we have tried to conduct ourselves. And I tell you that there has been a lot of adversity in my life over my years, and no one here, is a stranger to adversity. No matter what your background, no matter what your life story, every one of us has a bit of adversity. But I'll tell you that none of us would be sitting here today if we let that adversity overcome us. And so I guess the one thing that I will say about adversity is that it is one of those things that challenges you. It is one of those things that really will test your character. And it is one of those things that is truly a defining moment on whether you will let it truly guide the rest of your life or not. And so the rest of the adversity that I've dealt with over my career as a Houston police officer, when I joined the Houston Police Department, I was coming in at a point in time where the department itself was at a crossroads. We had just come out of the Moody Park riots, and that happened in my old neighborhood, and where some Houston police officers had been involved in a unfortunate incident involving an individual named Jose Campos Torres, and I saw the riot unfold. And, I don't need to pick up a report. I saw it happen. But even then, I wanted a career of service. Saw a lot of things happen in my neighborhood, and I thought I could, make a difference. And so I decided to pursue a career in law enforcement. And when I talked to my dad about that, my dad said, he gave me a lot of pearls of wisdom, but principally he said, don't forget where you come from. He goes, do a good job, work hard, but please don't forget where you come from. And so when I joined my career, when I joined the Houston Police Department, there was a lot of opportunities that presented themselves. And they were opportunities that oftentimes we don't recognize as opportunities, but rather we may see it as adversity. In other words, I'll give you one example. When I was 1 year, I ended up being asked about helping to initiate a pilot project and to help coach young people and serving as a police role model for young people through sports. And I thought, I've never coached. What do I know about, I played some sports, but what do I know about that? And so I was almost talking myself out of this opportunity for the diversity of not seeing what I may be able to contribute. Thankfully, I changed my mind and took a chance. And it turned out to be the opportunity to establish a very, very good program called the Police Activities Leagues within HPD, and it lasted for many, many years. Later on, I got I ended up getting involved in a very high-profile investigation, and I was asked to submit my application to join a very elite unit in HPD called the Criminal Intelligence Organized Crime Squad, and I thought,